Hey guys, Vulkan here. Today I'm going to be reviewing some of the matches that got me to #1 in the world. It's going to be different games than yesterday, and it is going to be a video that has pretty much all replays. But before you get out your pitchforks and you start writing in the comments, Vulkan, I hate replays, yada yada yada. Just try to keep an open mind because let me tell you, these games were good. So if you already watched yesterday's video, then I already explained starting plays in that video, so I'm not going to be explaining starting plays. I'm just going to be going over the actual strategy of how I got the win in this video. So basically what you want to be doing versus graveyard matchups, right, is you want to try... Well, first of all, you can split up you can split up their push with the Lumberjack Balloon, and that's really key, especially if they cycle like a Baby Dragon in the back. You don't want them to stack a big bush on you. But the other thing is going to be, especially in single elixir, you can try to basically get a musketeer alive or use a musketeer on defense that counter pushes with an elixir advantage, and then you can attack. So here, this is super key. Pretty much no matter what matchup you're facing up against, right? Anytime you can keep a musketeer alive, like you see I did there, you basically can just Lumberjack Balloon the bridge, and they're not going to be able to punish you because they're going to lose their tower and then somehow take your tower on the counter push, or they're going to defend their tower but they're going to have to overcommit on defense. So that's kind of the thought process there. So here you can see my opponent has an elixir advantage, and I'm just going to high musketeer and I'll Lumberjack, the tank, and then log the graveyard, and that pretty much is going to fully counter that. I also have to Ice Spirit. You kind of see I like to lay my troops, waiting to see if the graveyard skeletons stack up. And here I'm going to bats because I know he doesn't have tornado. I know he doesn't have the Baby Dragon and cycle, so nothing he can do, or none of the cards in his hand are able to defend those bats. So they're going to get like a ton of damage on his tower. And here you can see, yeah, I'm winning by quite a bit, right? I just snowball here because I don't want to use my Lumberjack. I could have Lumberjack, wouldn't have been that bad of a play, but I kind of want to save my Lumberjack to use in combination with the balloon. And here you see, you don't really do this as much, you kind of do it in single elixir sometimes. You don't really do as much in single elixir, but especially in double elixir, you can't be going the same lane as them. You got to split up their push. So that's exactly what I did. I just went opposite lane of the Baby Dragon, splitting up his push so that he can't build a big push. I wasn't even hoping to get damage. I was just hoping to split up his push again. So there I blocked the bridge, and it works out really well. And I think I failed this Ice Golem. Yeah, I failed the Ice Golem a bit, so he actually gets more damage from our tower than I was really hoping for. And you kind of see with this deck, like, well, you can make a couple of mistakes and it's not really that big of a deal, because it's not about the micro placement in this deck quite as much. It's a lot about like the macro strategy, like when do you balloon and when do you pressure opposite lane. That's the key thing you should be focusing on when you play this deck. So there you see I got the balloon to the tower, so I'm just going with the log because I know that Snowball finishes it off, so I was just trying to log and then cycle to my Snowball, and I actually finished off the game. And that's another super key thing. You saw I did it like twice in this matchup. I'll use the Ice Spirit or the Heal Spirit intentionally close to the Musketeer so that it heals up the Musketeer. And it's just really important to do. Like versus a lot of matchups, you can say, for example, a Baby Dragon hits your Musketeer. You can use the Heal Spirit to heal up the Musketeer again. The next game I want to show is actually a loss. But I lost by like 20 HP. So we're going to go through this game and we're going to try to figure out what I did wrong. Because I'm sure I can find, if you lose by 20 HP, I'm sure I can find at least one thing I did that would, if I had done that one thing better, I would have won the game. So starting off here, I'm just going to cycle the log, cycle the Heal Spirit on defense here. And basically, I don't know his deck yet. I see the Barb Barrel, which a lot of times indicates a Tornado deck, so you kind of have to be just aware of that. I play the Musketeer in the back. Still not too sure what he has. Don't want to play anything else because it'll walk up too high. And there he goes with the poison. So right now I'm thinking graveyard, right? So I don't want to play my Ice Golem because I want to save my Ice Golem for the Baby Dragon. That's super important. And do I balloon? No, I don't even balloon. I don't balloon because it's just a free King Tower activation for him. He'll play the Goblin Hut and then he'll tornado it to the King Tower. So I don't actually want to balloon until the Goblin Hut is out of hand. Because I want to make sure I at least get one hit on his tower. So there you see I go with the bats to juke him. And this is important versus Goblin Hut. You can kind of ignore the spear goblins in single elixir. In double elixir you have to be careful. Don't let them stack up. But in single elixir especially, it's okay to ignore the Goblin Hut. And you don't, I mean, pretty much with this deck, you always have to ignore the Goblin Hut because you don't have an answer to it. But with a lot of decks, you can do that. So here you see, I outcycled his Tornado, and I knew he didn't have Goblin Hut in hand. So I instantly just bats ballooned the bridge at low elixir because I was keeping track of his rotation, and I knew his hand. And you can see he had to overspend really hard on that. I'm down 2 elixir now, but it doesn't really matter because I forced him to, like, waste his Goblin Hut, waste his poison, so he can't really attack now. And also, my Musketeer is going to get value. So again, I just played the Lumberjack in the back. It's really good to do versus this matchup. And then I'm just going to attack. I'm going to balloon the bridge. And here, this is another key thing. I know that he doesn't have Goblin Hut in hand, so this is why I'm willing to do this. Because he can't activate his King Tower without taking a hit on his Crown Tower. So I was hoping that he would... So I'd be like perfectly fine if he activated his King Tower there. Because then I just need one more balloon hit or a little bit more death damage to win the game. So there you see, I'm going in the opposite lane here because I'm thinking, and I wish I'd played that Lumberjack in the right lane. It might have won me the game, but I thought my Musketeer was going to die, so it wasn't really a bad play. And I ballooned the bridge, so here might have actually been a mistake because I let him activate my King Tower. But I try to outcycle him. And I feel like this has to get a hit on the tower. Like, how would he defend this? There's no way this doesn't get a hit on the tower. Oh, wow. That is crazy. I can't believe it didn't get a hit on the tower. I guess? Was that even a mistake by me? I mean, I could have prediction logged. That would have been like a super godly play. No, should I have? Yeah, I probably should have logged his Spirit Goblins, to be honest. I had the log in hand. So maybe that was... Well, it's something I could have done better. So here I'm just spamming the bridge again because I'm at 10 elixir. I know he has to overspend to defend it, and I just need one more balloon hit on the tower. I also heal spirit. As soon as I saw that Barb Barrel come out, I instantly heal spirited the bridge because you can't use the Barb Barrel to kill the heal spirit. And it almost gets hit on the tower. It's so close. There, what I do is I play the bats, and I play the bats to force out the poison because I knew he'd poison it, right? And, oh man. Yeah, I wasn't really... I mean, that was one thing I could have done. I could have... Well, no, you don't really want to Ice Golem to block that, so that was fine that I did that. And here, I'm just going for death damage. I'm not really expecting to get a hit on the tower. I'm going... It kind of stinks that I'm going same lane as him now. Yeah, because I don't really want to be going same lane. So there I play... He plays a really good Tornado. And... I kind of forgot that was a play. A lot of good Graveyard players will do that, so... But even with that, do I really want to play it closer to my tower? Because if I play it closer to the tower, it's going to be in poison range, so he's going to be able to poison the Lumberjack and the Musketeer. And I also play the bats on his support troops because then the poison doesn't kill the bats. So I think that sequence was... I think I played that sequence fine. It was just a good play by him. So here you see I'm just going to go balloon, just spam the bridge again. I'm just trying to get a hit. Or not even get a hit. As I said earlier, just trying to get death damage. I think I should have snowballed that. I think I should have snowballed that Goblin Hut because it was obvious that the balloon wasn't going to one-shot it. So if I snowballed the Goblin Hut, maybe I could have got death damage on his tower, which is really all I was hoping for. And I don't really need the snowball for defense anyway. In this matchup, you can use snowball on offense, and you want to save the log for defense, though. Well, even then, you don't have to save the log for defense. Like, obviously, log a Goblin Hut if it's there. But log's a little bit more valuable than the snowball in this matchup. So I could have cycled snowball there. It would have been a good card to cycle, because I'm just trying to win on tower damage here. You see, maybe that would have won me the game. I go with the log, I go with the snowball in the tower, and I just lose by, like... 20 HP. I throw out the angry face because it was 20 HP. So here we go. For this game, my man Miner's first play, so I'm just going to defend, but I'm not going to balloon with it, even though a lot of times you want to balloon with your Lumberjack on the counter push, because I don't know his deck yet. Don't know if he has, like, for example, a Minion Horde. And he does a really bad NATO. Also because I was down 1 elixir. He does a really bad NATO. So I just go in with the balloon ice golem. And this was definitely a mistake. Obviously, I wanted the ice golem to be in front. So I should have played the balloon like on the chain or below the chain. So that way, if I play the balloon first and the ice golem, then the balloon would be behind the ice golem. But there we go. It's okay to go with aggressive balloon pushes in this deck when, for example, they waste a tornado. Even if you don't really know their deck, ice golem balloon is a really good push. So here we go. I just attack. I know he doesn't have bomb tower on cycle, so I'm gonna not even bother playing the balloon behind the chain. I also knew he didn't have a tornado on cycle. So I span the bridge, and he makes the mistake thinking that he can activate his king tower. But again, you can't. I don't know if this is 100% true, but I'm like 99% sure. A raged balloon will not activate the king tower. You can't pull it. If you play it like towards the wall, then the NATO is not going to work. So I pretty much won the game off of that push, and I just defended for the rest of the game. I'm actually not even going to show some of the replays in this game because for some of them, like versus Sam, I don't even think I played that well. I just kind of had a good matchup. So looking back on this matchup kind of makes you wonder like if I even made the right decision in certain parts of this game. But I did end up winning the game, so I'm just going to show you the strategy that I used to win it, and it's a little bit unorthodox. So first play here, I'm just going to balloon to kill the furnace because it's a good play versus the furnace because it actually kills it, right? And it'll still get death damage on the tower. I figured out that you don't want to do that versus Goblin Hut though, because with a Goblin Hut, it's going to kill it, but then you're going to have 4 counter pushing Spear Goblins, and you're going to... it's going to be a negative elixir trade for you. So versus Goblin Hut, you want to just spam like and try to hit their tower. But versus the furnace, you can kill the furnace. So this matchup is all about utilizing your musketeer and getting an elixir advantage from your musketeer, and then using bats on defense. So there, I don't know, that might have been a mistake. I think actually in retrospect, what I probably should have done was just a musketeer to counter the baby dragon, like, and if he would have lightninged it, it would have been a negative elixir trade for him. But kind of also, and like the reason I didn't was because I just used my ice golem. So like, how was I going to defend my musketeer? I didn't have an ice golem. If he had attacked with it and he had used the lightning, he would have got a lot of damage from my tower. But I think it might have been safer. But at the same time, like, it worked out because I used the bats to defend for so cheap. And I got a bunch of damage on his king tower, so technically I have a big advantage right now, right? But I am at an elixir disadvantage, so that is one thing, like, it wasn't necessarily a bad play that I did, but there are 2 different ways to play this matchup. So here, he's going to take my tower. You know, there's not much that I can do to defend it, but I'm just going to try to get him to waste a lot of elixir and then juke him out so that at the same time he attacks, I'm going to go for his king tower and try to finish off his king tower. So that's exactly what I do here. He goes in with the attack. I kind of just play everything because I'm hoping that he's not going to have enough elixir to defend here. I also go with the bats. I go with the log. I tried to delay the bats so that I was hoping he would E-Wiz earlier, but he waited on his E-Wiz, so he played that defense pretty well and defended my push. So then I get a lot of damage from my king tower, and basically all I got in his tower was death damage. So like, at this point I'm getting a little bit scared, you know, that push, he definitely got the advantage on that push. So here I'm just trying to keep my musketeer alive. This is super important because I don't have a big spell. That's probably why it's super important. No, it's just important. You want to keep your ranged troops alive. Like, try to win bridge battles if you can, unless you're obviously going to lose it. But like in that situation, I won the bridge battle, or I kind of tied the bridge battle, and I'm able to, well, he's not able to roll giant on the counter push. So here I realized that I probably wasn't going to get damage on the king tower because my last push kind of failed, so I decided to switch lanes. That way he's not going same lane as me. Since I have the cheaper deck, I don't really want to be going same lane as him. I also don't have a building, so I'm just kind of playing some troops in the back here now. I don't really have an elixir advantage. I'm trying to figure out what he's trying to do. He goes in with the attack. So now that he goes in with the attack, I am willing to attack myself because I have the elixir advantage at this point, right? And the musketeer is going to finish everything off on that side. So here I go in with the snowball, trying, even though it's like, I'm not really necessarily expecting it to, or expecting the balloon to get a hit on the tower. I'm hoping that it will, and like worst case scenario, you know, I'm killing some stuff and getting death damage, so it's definitely worth it to like use your offensive snowballs like pretty aggressively. Pretty much as long as you don't need them on defense, you can be playing your offensive snowball. So here I play the musketeer in the right lane, trying to separate the baby dragon from the royal giant. That way I can get a lot of value with my bats on defense. He ends up using both the mega minion and the barbarial to kill my musketeer, so like this still isn't a bad situation for me. I'm still protecting my musketeer. He's trying to kill it. He's playing his E-Wizzes in the pocket, and it's pretty successful. I mean, he gets a lot of damage on me. Like at this point I'm getting pretty scared. I snowball the royal giant because if they got one more hit, lightning would have won the game. So here I'm just going pretty much all in, and I'm also, was I keeping an eye? I should have been keeping an eye on the pocket. No, it wouldn't have mattered. He wasn't fat enough to if the E was in the middle, it wouldn't even have taken my tower. So yeah, I managed to barely get the win. I was kind of just like an all-out push at the end, and we got the clutch. So here, this is a matchup that's quite interesting, because this is a matchup where you don't want to play your Ice Golem, like, ever. And obviously I don't realize his, well, not ever, but I don't realize his deck at first, so I Ice Golemed in the back, kind of on defense, and I just blew in the bridge. It's just like, I don't want to support it too much. If I don't know his deck, you know, if he has Minion Horde, I'll take the -2 trade, I'll just snowball his Minion Horde on the counter push, and at least you won't be able to support his Sparking Push too much. So here, he has Goblin Giant, which are going to do really well versus my bats, and I'm going to take his tower. I try to push the Mini P.E.K.K.A back. Oh, this is a super good log, because even though it kills my tower, it keeps the Musketeer alive so that the Musketeer can finish off the Sparky, or mostly finish off the Sparky. Like, definitely worth it. He decides to support this, so I just finish it off with the bats, or with the bats. Like, not really that big of a deal for me. And there we go. We had a tower trade, so you have to be willing to tower trade, but we didn't necessarily come out with the advantage, but it's just kind of what had to happen, because we can't defend a Sparky push. We just can't defend it. Like, there's literally nothing you can do. But at the same time, like, you can't overcommit on the offense, because if you don't know their deck yet, and you go Lumberjack, Balloon when they Sparky, and then they Minion Horde, then yeah, you're pretty much, that's like a huge negative elixir trade. So versus Sparky, what you want to be doing is just like playing a solo loon, and you want to figure out what their deck is first before you go too aggressive. And if they have Minion Horde, you need to make sure that you're sending the Ice Golem with the Balloon. Or even if they don't, actually, an Ice Golem Balloon push is a pretty good play if you have the Ice Golem in hand. So here he Sparkies in the back. I'm kind of waiting to see what he does, and I think I just go with the Lumberjack Balloon push, probably. Yeah, I just play it. And he tries to kite, but it doesn't really work out because I played my Lumberjack so far to the left, I don't think he could kite that. And I'm just trying to get some damage on his tower. What I'm trying to do is split up his push, because I know I can't defend him. And I'm just sacrificing the damage on the left side. Just I try to heal Spirit to keep it alive for as long as possible. I get down a log to kill the Spirit Golems to slow everything down. And he almost takes my tower. It's so close. But here, he makes, like, a big, not really big mistake. I don't even know. Maybe. I can't call it a mistake. But yeah, I punish him for playing that Sparky. That's a better way to say it. And then I instantly go with the Balloon again, just hoping to get death damage. All I need now is death damage. So he tries to Musketeer in the pocket. Doesn't really work out. Nothing he could have done there would have won him the game at that point. And I got the victory just barely by sacrificing a ton of tower damage. So there's some matchups like versus Sparky, versus Golem. You can't really defend their push, so you kind of just have to sacrifice tower damage and try to kill their support troops with like the Lumberjack or the Ice Golem, and then kill their big tank with the Musketeer. So in this game here, he starts off with the minor wall breakers, and I tried to get down a log. I almost got it done in time. Throw out the angry face because such an aggressive push by him, and I didn't know what his deck was. And he got a ton of damage on me. But now we know his deck. We realize what he has. As soon as I see the zap, I kind of just assume that it's the Mega Knight deck. So I Lumberjack in the back here, expecting him to go with the miner, right? And then I ballooned on the counter rush because he doesn't have the bats in hand. So I know that this deck has Musketeer. It's a pretty like popular deck. And I managed to get a bunch of damage on his tower because all he had in hand there was a Musketeer. He didn't have the bats. So I didn't even have to worry about like having an offensive snowball in hand to defend the bats. And I get a ton of damage on his tower. And here he does a nice counter push. And obviously I'm not going to be able to defend this. But I'm just trying, well, I'm just trying to, you know, not lose my tower, basically. I knew I was going to take a ton of tower damage. And then here's a really nice, look at this. Look at this Heal Spirit. The Heal Spirit combined with the log actually fully counters that. And that's a play, that's one of those plays, like, I might have lost the game if I didn't do that. So that was a super important Heal Spirit. You gotta have your micro interactions down in some of these matchups. So I just defend the push, just not giving away the tower. Like, at this point, since he doesn't have a big spell, you want to do this versus decks that don't have a big spell. You really want to defend your tower, like, pretty hardcore. So I just bats. I think I bats, like, right away here. Because I just want him to zap them. I just want to, you know, get my cycle going. Cycle to, like, a spell or something. So then I go with the snowball, the log. Again, I'm still defending. Even though I expect him to take this tower, like, I want him to have to overspend. I'm not just going to give him the tower for free because I don't really want to be going same lane as him anyway since he has such an expensive deck. And here he goes super aggressive. I actually wait on my Ice Golem because I was kind of expecting the goblins. Or I was expecting to spam something behind that. So I wanted to make sure that the Ice Golem would actually pull everything. And then I use a Heal Spirit to pull it to the middle, and man, I don't think I actually lose my tower. The thing is, I was expecting to lose my tower, but like, yeah. Wait, and this takes, oh, I just realized I won by 2 towers. Yeah, I kind of spammed there. I was expecting him to take my tower, but I was just going to try to defend at low elixir, so that if he did take my tower, at least I'd take his right tower, and I actually 3-crowned him, so. I wasn't sure if I wanted to show this game versus Morton, but I think I will because if I remember correctly, I had a decent play. So he goes to the Skeleton Barrel first play, and I think I just log it, right? Yep, perfectly timed my log. Play the bats in the back, play them in one lane. As I've said before, you always want to be playing your bats in one lane in this deck. And here, I don't know his deck yet, so I just Musketeer on the back. Didn't want to spam the bridge, didn't want to overcommit too early. And he goes with the Miner Bats. I think I just use Heal Spirit to defend this. Yep, I get down a nice Heal Spirit. I go with a Lumberjack to defend that. And at this point, I kind of realize he doesn't have a Tornado deck because he has Bats, right? So I don't really have to worry about like using Lumberjack and having him activate his King Tower. So I'm completely happy doing that. And I get down the Rage spell. I kind of thought that he had a building at this point, which is why I went with the balloon, because I just wanted to have the Rage balloon and then try to outcycle his building. But it didn't work out because he had the Hunter, so he actually got like a really nice counter push on me. And I failed my snowball. So already he's off to a huge advantage, and I kind of... Actually, I don't really make any mistake. I made one mistake. I just failed my snowball. That was the only reason I took so much damage there. But now I know his deck, and that's kind of what you have to do sometimes. You just have to feel out your opponent's deck. And now that I know his deck, I'm going to try... Well, you're going to see. Basically, what you have to do to break past a Hunter is use offensive snowballs on the Hunter, and you're going to be able to get damage. So I can definitely break through. That's not what I'm worried about. I just need to make sure I get an elixir advantage and then defend well. So here I just go with the balloon. And I also go with the Heal Spirit because the heal should allow it to get a hit on my tower. Oh yeah, the prediction snowball, snowballing the Bass, and also snowballing the Hunter. And you can pretty much he can't defend. If you go balloon snowball, like there's nothing that a Hunter can do to defend. It works versus this deck, it works versus the Hog Hunter deck. And then it's also going to hit the Bats if they play the Bats. So it's like really good to prediction snowball in this matchup. So now you can see we're pretty close to even. I'm cycling my Ice Golem because I didn't really want to play my Musketeer into his poison. And then I played the Musketeer because I wasn't sure if he's going to miner at that point, and I just wanted to kill the Hunter. And he gets a bunch of... well, not a bunch of damage, but he gets a decent amount of damage on my tower, so I have to play it careful here. And I just play the bats in the back. I'm trying to cycle to like a lumberjack or a ice golem to attack with. He decides to attack first. I played the high musketeer here, and I also kind of wasted an ice spirit. I didn't really need that ice spirit. And here it's getting really scary. You can see, like, I'm not really in that good of a situation, but this is the point in the game where basically I just need one more hit on his tower, and the snowball balloon combo is pretty much a guaranteed hit versus a hunter if they're not gonna have their own snowball. And I won just like that, just because the snowball balloon cannot be stopped by a hunter. So in this game, he doesn't really have a good answer to balloon, so I definitely have a matchup advantage here, like for sure. But I'm gonna show you the game anyway. So I don't know his deck yet. He's just cycling the log, and right now it is looking like the Hog Earthquake deck, though. It's either that or like Royal Hog's Earthquake. Like when you see those three cards that you play, that's kind of what you think of. So here I play the lumberjack in the opposite lane, and I think I don't balloon. I'm just gonna bats on the back because he's not gonna have like a zap or anything to kill these bats, and I just want to get the king tower activated. He decides to apply a lot of pressure, but I have really solid defense here. I activate the king tower. I also log so it doesn't get another hit on my tower. And I used the Ice Golem Kite to kill the mini P.E.K.K.A. So that was a super good play there. Like, if you want to rewatch that, go for it. But those are some good micro placements. And I got the King Tower activation. So here, now that I have the activated King Tower, I think I'm just going to either I'm going to lumberjack or bats on the back. I'm not really too sure what I was thinking at this moment. Okay, I go with bats. It's probably the smarter play. And I just balloon by itself. And I don't even play the lumberjack because I also use the Ice Golem Kite. I know that since he uses Firecracker, I can just snowball his bats, and he can't defend my balloon. Like literally, he has no other card in his hand to defend my balloon. But I need to be able to defend his push, so I'm not going to play the lumberjack on offense. So that was the thought process there with that balloon. And let's see what happens next. Basically, what I'm going to be trying to do at this point is, and I do this versus pretty much any matchup, like if one of my towers is down, I'm going to be trying to pressure the other lane and 3-crown them, while at the same time defending my right tower for like cheap. And also I have the king tower activated, so like I'm not really that worried about it. So I go in with the aggressive lumberjack balloon push because, again, I'm just trying to not let him stack too many troops on the right side, and I'm trying to kind of catch him off guard. I probably just play the musketeer same lane here. No, I used the... I don't know why I didn't. I should have played the musketeer same lane. That was not a good play. Just defending, snowballing the hog rider. So at this point in the game, I kind of realized that all I need is one more balloon hit to finish off the tower, because it'll also get death damage. And so low-key, I probably could have like almost even gone in there and taken his tower. Like even with that firecracker on the field, and he probably wouldn't have been able to defend it for no hits. But I decided to just go with the defense first. Have a nice lumberjack in the back, ice golem to block the mini P.E.K.K.A. and then bats on top of the firecracker. I don't attack here because he did the ice golem kite. I was also kind of expecting the ice golem kite, and I managed to predict his mini P.E.K.K.A. Which, even if I didn't predict his mini P.E.K.K.A., it wouldn't really matter that much, but it was still a nice, cool prediction. And I decided to just go in and attack here since I have the counter pushing musketeer. And I mean, he doesn't have like a snowball or fireball or like anything to knock back a balloon. A prediction, snowball the bats, and I take his tower. That's going to wrap it up. I just wanted to show the replays that I thought were worthwhile to watch. And also, I didn't want to spend too much time making another video because I got to do my taxes. So that's going to be it. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And Vulkan out.